sending them to a replay. So Mayo and Laois still don't know who they'll be facing in the final. We take the reception for this Cavan team here, as you would expect, of course.
Absolutely. I think 28 years of frustration has been vocally vented, I must say, here today. I rarely have ever heard such a welcome for a team coming into Croke Park. You know, there has been this situation over the last few years where they've been caught in this time warp. Cavan have yet to appear in an under 12 or in a senior All-Ireland semi-final on live television, as far as I know. But certainly today, the reception they got, certainly it's a reception that I haven't heard the likes of.
Well, this was just a few moments ago, Martin, the team picture, the Cavan players getting organised for that. Tony Davis, whatever about the welcome of the supporters, whatever about the colour and the occasion, can Cavan win this semi-final?
I think it's going to be very tight, Michael. I think they're in here with a chance, all right, you know.
In all, 9 of that starting 15 get to play this afternoon, with Liam Hassett taking over the captaincy from his brother Mike. A greater level of consistency, of course, is required from Dara O'Shea and William Kirby in midfield. Well, the message from the fans to Pa Laid, I'm sure, after his make-in defence. You may remember that Jerry Sheridan was switched onto Joe Brolly in Clonus in the Ulster final. Stephen King, who was forced out of that match with injury in the second half, is back in midfield alongside the highly rated Dermot McCabe. While up front, look for the Riley brothers.
Moved across to Mark Morris O'Shea. On the other side, Seamus Moynihan has changed wings. He's gone to left half-back. He's now marking Peter Riley. I suppose Peter Riley would have a big threat on the pace side of things, and that's why Seamus Moynihan has gone across.
The referee is Pat Casserly. He was in charge, of course, of last year's semi-final involving Kerry and Mayo as well, and this year's National League final where Kerry beat Cork in the final down at Porky Queeve. That was a good block down. This is McCabe, midfielder for Cavan. Nicely up for Damien O'Reilly, feeding it through into the centre there. Jerry Sheridan was trying to keep the attack going. They still have it, still O'Reilly, strong fellow, hauled down by Sean Burke. Free just inside the 45-metre line. It's a big test this afternoon for Sean Burke and for the other man in the corner, Stephen Stack, having come back into championship fare. And Burke has gone across there to pick up Damien O'Reilly. Stephen Stack there would appear to be on Larry Riley. Here's Ronan Carolan. Kerry scored 1-7 against Donegal. His debut was back in '86. He hits this one to the left of goal, fumbled initially and recovered well. Strong challenges going in there. Seamus Moynihan knocking it away, out of trouble towards William Kirby. Busy midfielder. Trying to pick out Brian Clark. Stopped, however, by Kieran Brady. This is Jerry Sheridan again. Good shoulder there by Liam Hassett. Good old-fashioned skill. Outside of the boot, cross towards Dara O'Kineda, top of the right, being marked by Philip Kermit. Good ball down towards Fintan Cahill, again a little push from behind there, coming in by Barry O'Shea. O'Reilly back in towards Ronan Carolan again, trying to go by Liam Flaherty. He was given a lot of latitude in the Ulster final against Derry, but Liam Flaherty, I'm sure, has learned the lesson of that particular exercise. So Carolan from the Coo Collins club should be the opening point of the game here. Just over 2 minutes gone. Cavan go in front, and listen to the cheer up on Hill 16 and right around Croke Park. So Cavan go in front against Kerry. The early attacks by Cavan and the pace that they have in their attack causing a few early jitters for the Kerry defence. It's Declan O'Keefe kicking this one out. Drop down. O'Dwyer. Dara O'Shea did well in the under-21 final against McCabe last year in Thurles. His first kick, his first score. Dara O'Shea from the Gaeltacht, putting Kerry on terms. Good long-range shooting, and at this level you expect players to be able to finish in this particular fashion.
Well, Dara O'Shea had a very poor game in the Munster final, obviously trying to make up for today. A brilliant point off his weaker left foot. Cavan with a change in their half-back line too. Jerry Sheridan gone across to mark Lade and Patrick Shields on Dennis O'Dwyer. The two Kerry left corner men have switched with their right corners. Again, Sean Burke and Stephen Stack switch corners as well. So you have both Sean Burke and Eamon Breen now playing on the right side of defence. Stephen Stack and Seamus Moynihan playing on the left-hand side.
We couldn't just redraw the entire programme all over again. Start from scratch. 1 to 15. Ronan Carolyn with the free. 1 from 2 so far. This is about 46 metres out. Light breeze behind him. Wind has just picked up a little in the last few minutes. Hitting it truly, but also inches to the right. But clearly his free kicking this afternoon is going to be terribly important. Points so far in this match for him. His overall tally in championship football down the years. He's just got 1 goal, that against Donegal this year. So up to now he's got 116 points. Seamus Moynihan, that's the switch mentioned a little earlier. Coming strongly through the centre here. O'Dwyer going down to fetch. Still Dennis O'Dwyer. And finding the range impressively. So 2 points coming from play for Kerry. And just about 2 attacks.
Great move by Seamus Moynihan. Won the kick out, gave it to Dennis O'Dwyer. A lot of open ground in front of him and showed that he's not afraid to go for his own score from long range.
One of those youngsters who performed with great skill and class in last year's Under-21 Championship. This is Paul O'Dowd having another excellent year. Derek McCabe trying to win that kick out there, but it's boxed away by Darragh O'Shea. Hassett inside for Lade, reminiscent of his move against Clare. This time he fists it over the bar. First chance in the match for Lade, and that was a wonderful sweeping move.
Yes, Liam Hassett won the breakout. Bernard Morris lying too far off him. Lade showing the sort of pace that he has. Cavan backs can't afford to let the likes of him run at them. There has to be somebody to come out to meet them. I know in that case they were afraid of leaving a man in behind, but the 3 Kerry points so far have come about from the Cavan backs backing off the man and letting him have a clear shot.
Stephen King fumbling that one, trying to regain it. Helped here by Patrick Shields. Free to Cavan. So interesting tactics employed by Martin McHugh, appreciating that the pace of Lade could cause him a lot of problems and putting Jerry Sheridan across on Lade. Cavan pressing forward. That's Peter Riley. So much would be expected of the Rileys down that right-hand side. Their brothers, Peter and Larry, of course. Peter number 10. Pat Casserly's linesman this afternoon, by the way, Brian White from Wexford, Bob McCormack from Roscommon. Just 1 from 3 frees so far, but this is from the position where he pointed his second. Once again, Ronan Carolyn. Nicely over. Keeping the Ulster champions very much in touch. He really is a very good place kicker, and it's 3 points to 2.
Yes, and Kerry have given away 4 scoreable frees in the first 5 or 6 minutes of the game. Sean Burke and Liam Flaherty in particular have a problem with fouling, and they can't afford to do so with Ronan Carolyn kicking frees.
Game now beginning to settle down and establish a pattern. That's Dennis O'Dwyer. Once again it's Kirby coming forward on that left-hand side. The entire Kerry team want to wish his sister Fiona, who's in the Mater Hospital, a very speedy recovery. Dermot McCabe taking this free kick. It's a long, long one. In over the head of Stephen Stack. Larry Riley trying to get in. Well, that's the kind of tactic you expect that Cavan will employ here. Drag some of their own half-backs down into the field and then open up spaces in front of goal for the very pacey Larry Riley. Darragh O'Shea knocked ahead here towards Daro Canada. Lovely turn. The attention of the Cavan man made just to put him off. Claudio O'Shea was very relaxed before this game. I think he feels that the preparation this year in the company there of his selectors is A1. and they have a 1-point advantage.
As I said, Jared, there, Cavan tactics very interesting. When that free was kicked, there was no Cavan forward within 45 metres of the Kerry goal. The ball was kicked over the top and they were trying to use the pace to get in behind. Fintan Cahill playing well out the field.
William Kirby was clearly pushing his man as he was taking that ball down. They've come under a certain amount of criticism, the two midfielders, O'Shea and Kirby. This time the ball overhit again. O'Keefe fetching. It starts again with Seamus Moynihan and then Dennis O'Dwyer. Liam Flaherty, man of the match of the National League final. Up towards the man we haven't seen too much of so far, Maurice Fitzgerald. Terry Farrelly, of course, the man who was marking him this afternoon. Kicked into the space to Dara Okineda. One chance so far. That went to the right. And this has gone even further to the right. Well, our reporter over on the far sideline this afternoon is Marty Morrissey, so let's get some early news from Marty.
Well, the first real chance that Martin McHugh got, he ran down the sideline, down to goalkeeper Paul O'Dowd, and told him that any further kick-outs are going to be kept away from Dermot McCabe, because there is a feeling in the Cavan dugout that at this moment of time, Darragh O'Shea is able to beat, and here it goes again. It's aimed at Stephen King.
It's Darragh O'Shea who's got it. Knocked ahead over the head there of Brian Clark. Okineda in to appreciate that it might have fallen kindly for him. Won by Kermath, however. Terry Farrelly. Oh, an awful ball for Stephen King to get, but he did well, just taking it over the reach there of Palaid. Dermot McCabe, brilliant young football, up towards Damien O'Reilly, went very low to fetch. The foul, by the referee decides, was by Sean Burke. Free into Cavan. One of the busiest men so far has been Ronan Carolan. As the game develops, it'll be curious to see what they do with Damien O'Reilly. He tends to go on a bit of a roam from time to time in matches out towards midfield. This is on the 45-metre line. His fifth free of the game. This time it goes towards the left. He's doing okay from the easier close-in ones, but hasn't found the range at all from distance so far. Declan O'Keefe ready to kick this one out. McCabe and O'Shea, and McCabe fisting it away from Darragh O'Shea into space, and here comes his midfield ally. Stephen King has options. Outside he goes towards Larry Riley, and Larry has put it over the bar, and they're level. Larry Riley's first point. Interesting, that one, from the kick out, from McCabe's fist, from Stephen King's distribution, and a fine score at the end of all of that by the Bride man wearing number 13. It's 3-all. So approaching 12 minutes gone in the first half. Bernard Morris struggling there against Liam Hassett. Won back again by Ray Cunningham for Stephen King. McCabe now calling for it away on the left-hand side. Instead it goes in towards Fintan Cahill. Challenged by O'Shea. And to date he is causing problems, but he gets decent possession for Barry O'Shea. This year's under-21 full-back. It's been a problem position over the last few years for Kerry. Some very satisfied Cavan fans. And taking over the free-kicking duties is Peter Riley. He's a left-footed kicker. And this particular angle will suit him. And his brother Larry got the last point. This can put Cavan back in front again. Remember, they got the first point of the match. Awkward enough angle. Nice kick, however. And a first point for Peter Riley. And the Ulster champions are back in front once again by 4 points to 3. Peter Riley's marker this afternoon is Seamus Moynihan. He, of course, initiates so many of Kerry's good attacks.
Noticeable there that Stephen King got forward a couple of times, wasn't picked up by William Kirby.
A drop towards King again, but he couldn't fetch that time. Instead, it's Hassett inside towards William Kirby. Tracking back there is Patrick Shields. calling for it. Stephen King just ahead of him. He's got Bernard Morris to his left. Going right to Shields instead. Fisting down towards Fintan Cahill again, getting there ahead of Barry O'Shea. Troubled afternoon in the early stages for the Kerry number 3. Bernard Morris, look where he is, the centre half back. Way up, good block down. Stopped in the end by Declan O'Keefe. Well, Seamus Moynihan, up for the first time, came across and made a very good block down challenge on Bernard Morris.
Bernard Morris finding himself in a position that he's not used to. Coming across, probably should have let the ball into the middle, goes for a goal himself. Declan O'Keefe does well. Raymond Cunningham follows in and puts the shoulder into him. But as noticeable there again, Cavan pouring forward from the half-forward line, haven't been picked up by their Kerry markers.
Tactics playing a major role in the game so far. Each side more or less cancelling one another out. Stephen King, the fireworks yet to happen. King inside for Ronan Carroll. This might be the first time we see those fireworks. Great save! Brady beaten for it. Wonderful save by Declan O'Keefe. Peter Riley had that wonderful chance. Up it comes towards Brian Clark. A let off for Kerry. Trying to press forward at the other end. Darrow Kennedy misjudges the bounce of the ball. Paul O'Dowd coming out. Good support play at the back. Jerry Sheridan involved. So too Terry Farrelly. Well, that was mighty close. Back again towards Ray Cunningham. Difficult one for Patrick Shields to contain because Liam Hassett was in quickly, looking sharp in this match. Lobbed ahead, impossible one for Clark to take. Full back got there first. Now Jerry Sheridan, Philip Kermath. Great block down. Dennis Dwyer blocking down, and the ball put over the bar by Brian Clark. Well, an example there of good defensive work in Kerry's full forward line.
Yes, and Cavan taking too much out of the ball, just getting a little bit too cocky in possession there. A couple of their players could have let that ball down the field. At the other end, of course, Peter Riley with a fabulous chance of a goal. Declan O'Keefe doing very, very well. At that stage, Stephen King causing a lot of problems, getting forward and doing very sensible things with the ball too. Nothing too fancy. Gives the ball inside, Ronan Carroll into Peter Riley, straight through. And Declan O'Keefe, a great save. The alarm bells are there for Kerry. They're drawing the backs out and getting in behind them.
Now Maurice Fitzgerald, Farrelly alongside him. One there by Kieran Brady. A bit of a fumble back there, but Cavan just about hold on to it. Some more news now from the sideline from Martin Carney, I should say.
Just at the moment, it seems, Ger, actually, that the Cavan midfield, in particular Stephen King, the more experienced player, is going very, very well. And actually, as Colm already has said in commentary, the fact that they're getting through and getting in behind the Kerry defence is a source of worry to them.
OK, thank you, Martin. Back now with Liam Hassett. Maurice Fitzgerald, so important that he gets on the ball early on to gain his confidence. Now here he is tormenting the Cavan backs. Just ran away from him. Peter Riley was in there to try and deny him. So too McCavan. The referee says you held on too long, and it's a free out. The chance was there for him momentarily, and then in the soul of the ball just moved away at pace from his grasp. Chance for the begging. Stephen King can't hold on to it. Palade. One very good chance so far in this match. Now William Kirby. Great block down by King. He's showing a great appetite for this. He may have waited a long time. 17 years to play in an All-Ireland semi-final. He's here to enjoy it, you feel. That's Patrick Shields. He's got Kieran Brady alongside him, the fullback. Tough character, good, strong player. Another tough man, Bernard Morris. Stocky defender. Once again, it's Riley coming forward. But a poor shot at the end of all of that. Good chance for Larry Riley once again.
Great block down by William Kirby. The lane much too long in his kicking anyway, but Stephen King getting in. the only way that Kerry can combat the Cavan forwards taking their backs out the field. Declan O'Keefe should really play out on the 13-metre line, get any ball that's kicked over the top.
Picked up here in middle of the field again by Bernard Morris. Down towards Damien O'Reilly. Fintan Cowell was calling for to the left. Instead, it's on to Ronan Carolan. A gap opens up for him. Goes for the shot himself, and he has blazed it over the bar. He had support there with Larry Riley, but perhaps it was the sensible thing to do in that particular instance. His third point of the match.
Well, Kerry backs are all at sea here. Ronan Carolan again doing what he's best at, running straight at the defence as he did in the Ulster Championship matches so far. Could have gone for a goal, picks a sensible thing at this stage, kicks it over the bar.
Cavan edging back in front again. Declan O'Keefe's kick out. Between McCabe and Darragh O'Shea, dropping down. Picked up by Eamon Breen, operating at right half back. Back to Liam Flaherty, having his problems there against Ronan Carolan from time to time. Nicely inside towards Darragh Kineda, who moved to the left. The intention was to link up with O'Dwyer. Very good work by Patrick Shields. And holding on for dear life back there is Philip Kermath. Back to Shields again. One of the defenders slipped, but it reaches Brady. Kieran Brady. Done very little wrong so far in this match. Brian Clark has ended up on the seat of his pants, but I think he just slipped. Play continues. Man hauled back there was Raymond Cunningham. But one very sweet point against Derry in this year's Ulster final.
Well, Cavan backs nearly caught out there. Patrick Shields gets back, intercepts that Darragh Kineda punch. Real problems there.
There's tremendous pace here. Damien O'Reilly trying to come through. Stopped. Sean Burke standing over him there, getting the free kick. Not a very good kick out by Burke, picked up by Dermot McCabe again. Now it's Peter Riley. Back to McCabe on his trusty left boot that sails over the bar impressively. First point of the match. He's got a wonderful left boot. Hit truly and accurately, and Cavan stretched their lead to 2 points. This is how they did it.
Well, Kerry backs are playing very foolishly. Kick that ball, is quick free out, straight out to Peter Riley, and it's given to Dermot McCabe, and he doesn't miss too many from that sort of range.
So 6 points to 4. Great spell for Cavan. Liam Hassett. Outside of the left boot, in towards Darragh Kineda, all eyes on the ball, getting there ahead of Philip Kermath, who dragged him down, and that'll be a free kick for the Kingdom. And from a position where Maurice Fitzgerald, I think, might well fancy his chances just outside the 20-metre line. Philip Kermath playing in his 6th championship match this afternoon, made his winning debut last year against Antrim. We're still awaiting the first point from Maurice Fitzgerald. Terry Farrelly is having a little word with him because the referee is inside in the small rectangle, calling aside Brian Clark and also Kieran Brady. I recall that Clark ended up on his back just seconds ago there. There's clearly a banana skin in that particular part of Croke Park. Quick word from the ref is suffice. It'll be a free to Kerry. This to put one between them. The jeering is coming from the fans of the Ulster champions. Maurice Fitzgerald will silence those fans. His first point in this match. An accurately struck free kick. And it's 6 points to 5.
A fair contrast in styles there too between the two teams. Kerry are kicking the ball in high, and Darragh Kineda certainly has a big advantage over Philip Kermath there. When he's winning quite a lot of ball, he should really be taking them on. At the other end of the field, Damien O'Reilly is having much the better of Sean Burke, who's resorted to fouling on several occasions.
That beat everybody, but there was a push by Stephen King. It was on William Kirby. It'll be a free kick to Kerry. And Colin was mentioning some of the subs that the teams have the option of bringing on at any stage, and in the Munster final, of course, Kerry brought in Michael Francis Russell, very pacey forward, so he's always an option for them. Falling figure there of Philip Kermith, Brady, Jerry Sheridan. 4 years of championship football behind him, playing it very short at the back, Cavan. Cunningham picking it up. What a contrast between the style here in defence with that we saw some 8 days ago from Offaly. And it appeared to be a more traditional type of Gaelic football that we were witnessing. This is certainly shorter in defence. Well, this was Raymond Cunningham moving down, challenged by Maurice Fitzgerald. And there was an elbow there from Eamon Breen.
And Eamon Breen was booked earlier for hauling down Raymond Cunningham, so he needs to be very careful.
The free to be taken by Dermot McCabe. Again, they go short, looking for Ronan Carroll. Made just a few yards. Carolyn going long this time in towards Larry Riley, trying to steal in behind Stephen Stack. And the wily number 2, Stephen Stack, retrieves that situation. A player who was playing for Kerry here against Dublin as far back as 1987 in a league final, I seem to remember. Darrow Kineda taking out William Kirby. Lazily hit a head, beautiful pass into the chest there of Brian Clark. And the attack just breaks down. He was hoping to link up with Darrow Kineda. Maurice Fitzgerald, good hands, holds onto it well. Tormenting Farrelly in this instance. Onto the left foot, that's a wonderful score. And Kerry have equalised through Maurice Fitzgerald's second point. Back on terms they go.
Some beautiful scores from play by Kerry here. Maurice Fitzgerald sells the dummy on his right, cuts inside Terry Farley. Not much any cornerback can do when you have a man like that.
So some further news from the sideline, this time from our reporter Marty Morrissey.
Martin McHugh again is very active along the sideline. Again, he took the opportunity to go down to his full back line, and I believe he's warned them to cut out the messing and to deliver a pass upfield as quickly and as economically as possible.
Interesting, thank you, Marty. Yes, he also took the tactic of warming up this side about an hour or so before the game, and they arrived here with just about 20 minutes to go out onto the field. Darrow Shea, Maurice Fitzgerald, into Parlade. Great pace this man possesses. Gets away from the challenges, but they go back and block him down well. Good combined play by Cavan in defence. Cunningham. Jerry Sheridan, an awful ball for him to try and take there. Too high, and Breen had the advantage coming in. Free into Kerry.
Well, again, Cavan getting caught with too many short passes. Really and truly, they are back in numbers and they're defending very well, but when they get the ball, they should be letting it off a bit quicker because they are causing problems up the other end of the field.
That's Darrow O'Shea's kick. It goes to the right. 3 wides now for Kerry. 2 for Cavan. And who would be a football coach or manager? A term in Kerry still is trainer. Seamus McGarrett, I think, is technically the coach. So Cavan with this kick out to be taken by Paul O'Dowd, who's been a student at UCD and Maynooth. Great catch. That's tremendous skill by Stephen King. Now in his mid-30s, showing great flair and style. Good ball for Larry Riley. Stacks beside him. 2 fast players. What a great dispossession by Stephen Stack. Up towards Maurice Fitzgerald. Judges the bounce brilliantly. Good turn towards Darrow Kineda. Anxious to take it on his right-hand side. In for Brian Clark. The dummy, then the shot with the right boot, but away to the left this time. They're having those chances. That's one they certainly should have made.
I can't understand Darrow Kineda the way he's playing. He's winning every ball that goes in, and yet he hasn't taken on Philip Kermit on any occasion so far. Really and truly, he should be heading for the goals with some of those balls he's winning.
Well, there was a suggestion last year that he simply froze on the big occasion, because it is a huge occasion for amateur players, and he was only under 21 last year. All part of the learning process. Dennis O'Dwyer, I think it was, who went down that time, really hit the ground very, very hard. What a difference a week makes. The doctor has been brought in straight away. This is it again.
Dennis O'Dwyer gets up, and William Kirby and Stephen King coming in behind. Really, really hard fall on his head there, and it's just good to see that the medical personnel are in very quickly.
Well, let's see what's happening over on that busy sideline with Marty once again.
Well, Ger, just an update in terms of manoeuvres and positional switches. It's noticeable that just before the injury happened to the Kerry man, Ronan Carlin was switched out to wing forward, and Peter Riley has sneaked into the centre forward position, with Seamus Moynihan staying right beside him. Be interesting to see that when this injury is fixed up, that whether that will remain the case.
Okay, well, just 29 minutes or a little more gone in the first half. And a lot of concern there for the injured player. It may be concussion. They've been warming up a couple of players on the far side. I noticed Billy O'Shea being prepared. This was the leap up into the air that he made, and there were a couple of other players coming in the traffic that's fairly congested in the midfield of Croke Park. And here's how he ended up. Been attended to there by Aoife Nivuri and Dr. Dave Gainey. That particular play just a few seconds ago, controlled it very well, but it's the way his head hit the ground. A massive thud. Looked very sore indeed. At least he is conscious and okay. Might feel a bit of a headache in the morning when he wakes up. But if Kerry get through to reach an All-Ireland final for the first time in 11 years, I think he won't care too much about that. These Cavan fans have waited so long for the chance to see their team play in a big match here at Croke Park. They've been here in the league, of course. Dennis O'Dwyer from Waterville, attended by Aoife Nivuri. Sympathetic round of applause, but they'll want to make sure now that he really is not suffering from any form of concussion. And Pat Casserly there making sure that he has plenty of time to get the attention he requires, which is good to see. And there, of course, Billy O'Shea from Lown Rangers, just in case he's needed. Billy indeed could play in a number of positions, even back in the half-back line I've seen him play. So a long delay here while Dennis O'Dwyer, who hit one memorable point against Clare, gets the attention.
Yeah, you'd think in a situation like this, Jared, it's safer to take the player off. He's after having a terrible fall on the ground. It looks as if Kerry are going to substitute him.
Yes, he'll be a loss, so O'Shea will come in, but they've now used up one of their three possible subs, so O'Shea comes in and O'Dwyer goes off. It's just a case now of making sure that he's got a chance to get safely off the pitch, being stretchered away. Warm applause. I recognise some fans there from Leitrim and from so many parts of the country, of course. It's very much a national occasion. Huge crowd. And Paulie O'Shea, there's made an intervention. I was looking at something else. Did you see what happened there, Colin?
I think some of the Cavan forwards weren't too impressed with Paddy coming in to give instructions to his backs. He came in to make a change.
Yes, he wants to have a word with Barry O'Shea, and
Damien O'Reilly comes in there. That's pretty foolish. Like Paddy, all he was doing in that particular case is trying to make a switch. I know that he shouldn't be on the pitch, but it's very, very difficult in the sort of noise that we have here today for any of the managers, whether it's Martin McHugh or Paddy, to make a change without coming in a little bit. Paddy came in, he's made a change there. Really and truly, you know, he should be let do that.
Okay, play continues with this free kick for Maurice Fitzgerald. The long-range kicking expert has found the distance perfectly. His third point. Two coming from frees. And are they happy, Kerry fans, up there on the canal end? Really packed in there. Around about 60,000, I would estimate, here this afternoon.
Well, the change in the formation, Stephen Burke was going to pick up Fintan Cahill. He's now reverted back into full forward.
Ball spills away here and is won back by Peter Riley. challenged and fouled by Liam Hassett. Riley, the 22-year-old, who was centre-half back last year when Cavan played Kerry in the under-21 final. Huge one down towards Damien O'Reilly, touched away there by Sean Burke. One back by Larry Riley. Damien O'Reilly close to him, calling for it. The 19-year-old holds it up, waits for McCabe to come through the middle, followed by Parlade. Good work back by the Kerry number 10. McCabe making a better angle for himself. He's got the angle, he's now got the distance, and that's a superb score by the youngster Dermot McCabe, his second point. That move was full of wisdom by the young number 9, the way he held on, the way he made a better angle for himself.
Again, the point comes about as a result of the long ball in two Cavan forwards inside, given back out to Dermot McCabe, making the angle off his left foot. But Kerry half forwards will have to get back and defend more, because Cavan forwards have a huge amount of room up front. And the danger is if the ball breaks right to them, they'll get one in the net.
Sean Burke has just had his name taken, and the sides level 4 times in this match so far. Close to half-time at this stage. There will be some injury time perhaps. This is Billy O'Shea in there towards Clark. He's been fouled by Brady. What about a piece of thinking here? And it's Breen, and he's scored a goal. But the referee says hang on a while, hang on a while. The referee clearly had not permitted the free to be taken, and the goal is not going to count, and the referee is within his rights to disallow that goal.
Well, I find that incredible. I think that was a brilliant piece of work by Brian Clark. That overhead kick, it shouldn't matter which way you kick a free, ends up in the net, goal disallowed. Maybe Kerry will get a point, but certainly a piece of genius is being penalised.
Absolutely. Maurice Fitzgerald kicking it, putting it over, 4 points. It was a great piece of quick thinking. Well, the goal doesn't count, the point does, and it's 8 points to 7.
Well, Brian Clark, immediately that he's fouled, just puts the ball over his head. Nothing wrong with that free at all. Eamon Breen sidesteps Paul O'Dowd, sticks the ball in the net. Perfectly good goal.
Back it comes towards Darragh O'Shea. Now Billy O'Shea. Towards Darragh Canada. Struggling a bit to get into this match. That's a great ball ahead. I think Eamon Breen fancies another goal here. He's put it over the bar. Might have a goal and a point. Has to be content with just the point. 2 between them.
Good play by Darragh Canada again. Eamon Breen, after having 1 goal disallowed, gets forward again. The way it is in this game, there's half-backs cropping up now in the full forward line, and if the forwards who are marking them don't do their job and get back, they're leaving the whole gate open.
Almost 2 minutes of injury time has been played. Cavan with 13 chances, Kerry with 14 so far. It's all in points, as you see in the top of the screen. One back here by Kieran Brady. Outside to Stephen King. Cavan, who led by a couple of points not all that terribly long ago, having to give best to Kerry in the last 10 minutes. McCabe takes it quickly, down towards Damien O'Reilly. Forcing his way through there, and being more of a force the more this game goes on. Rated one of the best young footballers in Ulster, of course, Dermot McCabe. So they leave the free to Peter Riley once again to hit with the left boot. So this a very important kick just before the half-time whistle. Can he put the minimum between the teams? Drops it to the right. Never caught it properly. Lacked a little bit of confidence in the way he approached that particular one.
Well, the longer this half has gone on, the more Kerry have got to grips with Cavan. Cavan have still the potential, I think, to score goals if they get in behind, but the same is also true on the other side, because Kerry have a couple of inside forwards who are doing well.
Billy O'Shea coming to take this one here. Play continues, and that's Bernard Morris. Strongly determined fellow. Dermot McCabe once again here. The hand pass back towards Philip Kermit. Met the shoulder there of Palaid. Out to Jerry Sheridan. Larry Riley getting there ahead of his man being Stephen Stack. Lovely transfer. Fintan Cahill is gold! In the 5th minute of injury time. Delighted Cavan fans see their side go back in front. Fintan Cahill, the goal scorer. Kerry denied at one end, but there was no denying Fintan Cahill at the other.
Well, again, what we've been talking about for a while has happened. A lot of space. Larry Riley gives it off to Fintan Cahill. Brilliant shot. Gets in behind Barry O'Shea. Great last score at half-time for Cavan to get. Gives them a great boost going in when they had gone out of the game slightly just before the break.
Fintan Cahill's 4th championship goal gives them an edge then at the half-time break. Kerry will be disappointed because the goal by Eamon Breen was disallowed by the referee, but it's McCabe who gave a masterly performance with 2 fine points for Cavan, working well at midfield. Good contest, and at half-time here in the first of the Bank of Ireland football semi-finals, it's Ulster ahead by just a point. Cavan won 7, Kerry 9 points. And let's go down and join Marty Morrissey.
Tony O'Keefe, Secretary of the Kerry County Board. A devastating blow just before half-time.
Yeah, it was a great goal they scored. It was unfortunate way to goal. What we thought was a good goal disallowed just before that, but it's still anybody's game. It's a great game of football. It's a hammer blow against us, and also losing Dennis Dwyer. They're 2 bad blows just becoming up to half-time. But we're very happy the way they've played. Okay, our defence is stretched at times, and Cavan are using the long ball to great effect. But I think we've scoring power in the forward that I think they will just about carry us.
Can we expect or anticipate Maurice Fitzgerald moving out more around the 40?
As the game progresses, possibly. It depends on the way the game is flowing. It's a very pity
if Cavan win it by a point or two.
And the best of luck to that couple married this afternoon from Cavan, and they'll have been happy with the half-time scoreline. I imagine many people in Kerry would be most displeased with the goal that was disallowed, but the referee made the call, and so it stands. One between them. Bernard Morris coming straight back into the action here, thundering forward. Well, he plays centre half back, and that's a couple of attacking chances he's had in this game. Just looking around at some possible switches that Kerry are making.
Morgan O'Shea is in at cornerback on the Kerry team now for the second half.
And it looks like he has come in to replace Sean Burke, I think.
Sean Burke, yes, has gone off.
Also, I noticed that Maurice Fitzgerald has gone into full forward. They've got Brian Clark to his right, Darrow Kennedy to his left.
Yes, and Seamus Moynihan is playing centre half back as well.
So many switches, many changes. William Kirby as ever. Billy O'Shea. Good ball inside towards Maurice Fitzgerald. Might favour the backs, however. They group well. That's Brady looking to see what options he had. Not too much movement. McCabe was coming towards him. This is the goal scorer, Fintan Cahill. His confidence will be sky high now against Barry O'Shea. He's gone way out the field. He had a tendency to do this during the Ulster Championship as well. Towards Larry Riley. Whisked away by Stack. Picked up here by Billy O'Shea again. Quite a ferocious battle at times down there. Stephen Stack, great shoulder right at Fintan Cahill. Into William Kirby, 45 metres out. Kerry pressing forward for their first attack of the second half. Palaid has it. It's going to the right. First wide of the second half for Kerry. That's 5 in all now. Lade having to be content with 1 point from the first half. But the minimum between these teams, and a curious type of contest, as Tony O'Keefe was saying just before the break there. Each side has had periods of dominance in midfield. Billy O'Shea, Liam Hassett to his right, inside towards Maurice Fitzgerald. Again, a difficult ball for him to contain. It's Bernard Morris instead towards Raymond Cunningham. And marshalled there by Eamon Breen, who thought he'd got himself a goal in the 35th minute. Again, they drop it in there. This is Liam Hassett. Good position here for Kerry. And he's knocked it over the bar. Didn't score against Clare in the Munster final. He's made amends here in the early stages of the second half. So the sides level once again. Level for the 5th time. Well, Eamon Breen, of course, was booked during the first half, but he seemed to be arguing and remonstrating with the referee going off at half-time as well, so he has to be careful. He's marking Raymond Cunningham. Paul O'Dowd with the kick out. William Kirby drops it down. Billy O'Shea poking at that one. And was that picked off the ground? The referee was right there alongside it, opting to throw the ball in. Stephen King against William Kirby. King had some fine moments during that first half for Cavan. One-handed taken by Kirby. Eamon Breen. Down to Darrow Kineda, looking for his first score. Good ball ahead. On for Eamon Breen. Made a lovely point for him earlier on in this match. Again, Darrow Kineda was available, but Breen wrestled back Philip Kermith. Kind of lost their way that time. Brian Clark was ready to make a run through, a darting run through the Cavan defence, but it's going to be a free out. Central figure in this afternoon's events at Croke Park, Pat Casserly. Kermath going ambitiously towards Terry Farrelly, but that's an awful ball. He's given it straight to Palade. Maurice Fitzgerald's up there in his support. This is Fitzgerald going by Jerry Sheridan off the goalkeeper's hands and over the bar. Maurice Fitzgerald with 5 points now in this match. I think he got 8 last year against Mayo on a disappointing afternoon for the Kingdom. Very much their leader.
Well, it was a silly free by Philip Kermit, who actually had done the same thing a minute earlier, and the referee had given the advantage of it. Maurice Fitzgerald in, a good save by Paul O'Dowd. The ball could have ended up in the net. Again, a mistake by the Cavan backs has allowed Kerry in.
It was interesting that about 10 minutes before half-time, Kerry appeared to be getting on top. Then that body blow, the goal by Fintan Cahill. And now Kerry have started the second half in impressive style once again. Great catch that time by Dara O'Shea. Liam Flaherty. Good spell this by Kerry. Terry Farrelly going back there just to try and deny Brian Clark. And the Killarney man trying to get away there. And the Dr. Crokes club 4 alongside him. And in the end the referee is calling for the ball. Free to Cavan. It'll be Jerry Sheridan from Ballyborough who'll take this.
If you're a forward today, it's not too easy to get a free, that's for sure.
That's Seamus Moynihan, who was hauled down there by Peter Riley. And we understand that Jason Riley is about to come on for Cavan, the goal scorer against Derry. Maurice Fitzgerald, lovely turn. Beautiful style. Farrelly dragging him down, and the referee will take the notebook out. He hasn't any option. The name of Terry Farrelly from the Coo Collins Club going in the referee's book. And just as we speak, I have noted that Jason Riley is being brought on. Indeed, he's coming up to the referee now with the slip of paper by way of his introduction. He got a goal and a point, of course, in last year's under-21 final against Kerry in Semple Stadium. A very, very pacey attacker, and Patrick Shields looks like the one who is going off. free to Maurice Fitzgerald and to Kerry. They lead by just a solitary point. And that was a fairly routine kick which comes off the post. Well, that was unbelievable. Comes back to Billy O'Shea. A good block that time, but Peter Riley fisted down by Liam Hassett into space. Fitzgerald chasing after there in the company of Terry Farrelly. Just booked, of course. Oh, right across his own goal mouth. Kieran Brady. At times, the Cavan backs living so terribly dangerously. Confirmation then of that change by Cavan. Their first of the match. Fintan Cahill is back there, trying to get that ball away. It comes in for Billy O'Shea. On to Maurice Fitzgerald. This is looking dangerous. This time he makes no mistake. His 6th point.
I think Cavan will be thinking about a change there. Maurice Fitzgerald is getting much the better of Terry Farrelly early in the second half. But Cavan are contributing to their own problems by the short passing style. They're losing the ball coming out of defence, and the last couple of Kerry points have come from very simple Cavan mistakes when they had possession of the ball.
Just over 8 minutes gone in the second half. Cavan yet to score in this half. Their goal coming 5 minutes into injury time, end of the first. That's Larry Riley, on to Damien O'Reilly, continuing to play as a front man this afternoon. Challenged back there. Fed inside by Damien O'Reilly again, towards Ronan Carolyn. Nice ball inside, Fintan Cahill getting loose and finding the range superbly. A goal and a point now by Fintan Cahill, also of the Coo Collins club. That Cavan's first score of this second half, and that'll have rekindled their expectations.
Well, Ronan Carlin does very well here, putting Fintan Cahill in an awkward angle, and a great point. Cavan have made a change there too. Peter Riley has gone to right half back in the reshuffle, marking Billy O'Shea now.
Injury here to Damien O'Reilly. Damien, who's a Navan-based financial consultant. Going to be taken by Declan O'Keefe. 7th championship match this afternoon. On it goes towards Liam Hassett, playing in his 10th. Here comes Eamon Breen. Floating a difficult ball for the corner forward, who's Brian Clark at this stage, to take against Kieran Brady. Right on the end line. And Clark was making no real effort to get away off Kieran Brady. What are they trying to do? That is a bizarre incident. Who was holding whom down after all of that, you wonder? Peter Riley being called back, so too Brian Clark.
Brian Clark struggling very much there in that Kerry full forward line, where the other two men are doing very well.
It goes to the goalkeeper, Terry Farrelly.
Terry Farrelly is dicing with death there.
Well, certainly dicing with the sharp Kerry forwards. Darrow Kennedy trying to get that ball away from Larry Riley. They all more or less withdraw behind the ball, as it were. Shades of another code at times. And then the passing breaks down. Kerry are in there to snatch it. That's Stack. On for Parlade. The punt ahead. Well read by Kieran Brady. Needed to be. Here's Stephen King, their team captain. Driving it back out. And it comes for Jason Riley. 4 Rileys on the field right now. Jason Riley trying to advance against Barry O'Shea. Referee says play away. Damien O'Reilly still going forward. The Cavan attack causing problems when they get decent possession. It's Damien O'Reilly's first point. And so the sides are once again level here. Level now for the 6th time in this match. It really is quite fascinating.
Damien O'Reilly is doing very well in the left corner. This substitution there hasn't really made that much difference, winning most of the possession. Hard to understand why Cavan are persistent with such a short passing style in defence. A long ball there from Stephen King opened up the whole game.
In a nutshell, the forwards are doing well for both teams. That's Dara O'Shea there, trying to win clean possession against Dermot McCabe. Cunningham, and the referee saw a foul by Liam Hassett, free to Cavan.
Another bad decision by the referee. Raymond Cunningham ran straight into the man.
We'll have a substitution for Kerry coming in very shortly. Meanwhile, it's Ray Cunningham transferring it back there to Dermot McCabe. Shooting this one to the left, and news of that change now, which Kerry are about to make for Marty Morrissey.
Michael Francis Russell is just giving his piece of notification to the referee, and the man that's going to be coming off is Brian Clark.
Thank you. Well, it was mentioned by Colm O'Rourke just moments ago here that Brian Clark hadn't been going particularly well, and so Michael Francis Russell, who has tremendous pace, will come in to replace the number 14. And straight away he's going to be marked by Kieran Brady.
Yes, I think that's a good move by Kerry. Brian Clark was struggling there, even though he did create that piece of magic in the first half. But Kieran Brady has had much the better of him, has had a very, very solid game for Cavan so far, but will find Michael Francis Russell a much different type of player.
So 13 minutes into the second half here. Nothing to choose between these teams. Eamon Breen. Liam Hassett waited for it to come his way. The kick into space towards Dara O'Kennedy. He's got a loose man just ahead of him. Picks him off very well indeed. Here's William Kirby, trying to thread it through there towards Billy O'Shea. Looking for the chance, gets the opportunity and takes his score. Billy O'Shea's first. Back here in the venue where he starred for Lown Rangers a few years ago in the All-Ireland Club Championships.
Well, a good long ball cross field by Liam Hassett happened to set up that. Billy O'Shea doing very well, even though Bernard Morris gave him a bit of a tug on the jersey, still was able to find enough room, swing a leg and put over a good point. Every time the Kerry forwards get quick ball, they're causing a lot of trouble.
So Kerry inch ahead again. Stephen King couldn't take it. It's Seamus Moynihan instead, very rapidly transferred in towards Liam Hassett via William Kirby, and back again with Billy O'Shea. Liam Hassett kicking, and he's put it just to the right. 6 wides now for Kerry, 5 for Cavan. But by and large, Kerry having the better of it during the second half. So Martin McHugh here, who has done tremendously well to take his side through to win the Ulster Championship for the first time since 1969. It's been a long wait, but now can they go one step further? Great catch by Dara O'Shea, nicely in for Parlade. This is an exciting spell by the Kerry forwards. As we say, that nearly breaks down. Maurice Fitzgerald back again here. Peter Riley trying to regain possession. Likewise Terry Farrelly into Billy O'Shea. Maurice Fitzgerald, great block down there by Peter Riley. Goes back to Billy O'Shea, steadied himself, and that's 2 in the space of about a minute now by Billy O'Shea. And they'll have to be a great deal tighter on him. Remember, his marker is Peter Riley. He made that wonderful block just moments ago. It's going well for P. Shea and his backroom team.
Yes, Kerry are dominating all around the middle of the field. Seamus Moynihan surging through there on the breaks. Some of the Cavan kick-outs haven't been great. Fantastic block down there by Peter Riley, but it comes back to his own man who kicks it over the bar. But Kerry are winning nearly all the kick-outs at this stage.
They've just changed the marking. Jerry Sheridan is now marking Billy O'Shea, and they brought Peter Riley across to pick up Parlade. Dermot McCabe to his midfield partner Stephen King. Again, it is Stephen King kicking rather hopefully that time, waiting for a possible break. Kerry are at this stage in the game beginning to make it happen, not expecting it to automatically happen for them. Parlade working tirelessly. He does well to keep this ball in play. Fintan Cowell goes back from full forward to chase him. Michael Francis Russell towards Dara O'Kennedy. Stars at last year's under-21 title-winning side against Cavan. Stars again this afternoon. Dara O'Kennedy's first. Excellent point. Mano made his championship debut against Limerick in '95, and he's now scored 2 goals and 21 points in the championship. Really is quite a tense afternoon. Certainly the Cavan fans are beginning to feel it. They've drifted 3 points behind Kerry.
Dara O'Kennedy has been doing very well in terms of winning ball all day. First time he really went for the goal there, took on his man, Philip Kermit is having difficulty coping with him.
William Kirby needing assistance. Billy O'Shea is in quickly. Hand pass back towards Liam Hassett. Back to Parlade. Again trying to seek out Maurice Fitzgerald. Instead it was Ray Cunningham. Now Dermot McCabe. 1 against 1 inside there. Nicely fetched inside by Larry Riley. Against Stephen Stack. Still trying to go through. Still Larry Riley. And it went off a defender. It's gone for a 45. And some more news now from the sideline from Marty.
The form of Billy O'Shea has forced Martin McHugh into another positional switch. Jerry Sheridan is now gone from left half back to right half back, and Peter Riley is back at left half back marking Parlade.
Yes, they did that just seconds ago there. There's Martin's brother in the centre there. Martin McHugh's brother from the great Donegal winning team of 1992. James enjoying it, I'm sure, this afternoon, but will be happier to see the Ulster champions even nearer.
Larry Riley was doing a lot of complaining there, Ger, to the referee. I'd say he felt he should have had a free when he was going in. I think he probably should have had, and it results in a 50 or a 45.
Ronan Carolan to kick what would be his 4th point of the day. He gets the distance superbly, but some of those missed frees earlier on in this match might come against Cavan. By the time we hit 5 o'clock this afternoon, they're within 2 of Kerry. It's Kerry 15 points, Cavan 110. Still lots of time to go. I'll make it about 16 minutes. Declan O'Keefe from Rathmore to take this kick out for Kerry. One back here by Peter Riley. Back towards Jerry Sheridan. Remember now picking up Billy O'Shea into the corner towards Jason Riley, and really they haven't given him any kind of decent ball so far in the few minutes he's been on. And Piché, I'm sure, realising that Jason and Larry Riley, not related, but they are related as Cavan forwards, they have blinding pace. Sunny afternoon here, still quite humid here in Dublin. Seamus Moynihan, broken down by Liam Hassett, won by Fintan Cahill, Cavan's goal scorer. Nicely taken by Jason Riley, ready to take on Barry O'Shea. Going back there is Seamus Moynihan helping out the full-back. Liam Flaherty knocking it away to Parlade. Who's no slouch himself, taking it out from midfield to William Kirby. On towards Billy O'Shea. Hassett is to his right. The team captain just summing up who's available to take it from him. He's got Darragh Kinnadia to his right, but Billy O'Shea this time puts it inside to William Kirby, trying to take on the Cavan defence, who cope very well. Stephen King, strong and resourceful as ever. Up towards Jason Riley. That's a lovely bit of catching there by Seamus Moynihan, feeling his back, however, after he made that catch. This is Darragh O'Shea. On it goes to Michael Francis Russell. Russell, awkward angle. He gives it to Paul O'Dowd, who has the chance now to restart on this near side. Indeed, Bernard Morris opted to go through the middle instead. Kerry have done their homework pretty good, however, in the second half, because we haven't been able to see Ronan Carolan coming through the middle as he did during the Ulster final. Here he is now. Didn't carry it on that time, which is amazing. A hit and hope from one from outside the 45-metre line, and a very poor finish after all of that. Well, you'd have expected him that time, Colm, to at least carry it on. He had plenty of room.
Yes, and Ronan has been very good and very dangerous in the Ulster Championship, running at the defence, either taking scores or laying off the ball. So maybe players are getting tired. It's very, very warm here today, very humid conditions, and certainly you can see that the pace has dropped in the last 5 or 10 minutes.
So a case now, I think, for both sides of cutting down on the errors and availing of the opportunities that may come in the remaining 13 minutes. Damon O'Reilly. McCabe is to his left. Support coming from Ronan Cunningham. plays his football in County Meath with Kilmainham Wood, Brian Stafford's club. Good-looking kick, in they go after it. Bernard Morris was the one in there tormenting goalkeeper Declan O'Keefe, who did well. Comes out to William Kirby. Larry Riley trying to get in a telling challenge. An impossible goal for Maurice Fitzgerald to take. Instead it's Terry Farrelly on for Stephen King, giving it to the younger Larry Riley, 19 years of age. Stopped by Stephen Stack. Stack will be 30 this year. Ball fed back in the end to Stephen King. Cavan maintaining the impetus here. O'Reilly again hitting this one in rather hopefully. They're after it. Fintan Cahill was the one who got the fist on it. It's gone for a second 45. Sun in the eyes of those Cavan fans over there. And the pressure, I think, getting to just about everybody. They came down here full of hope in enormous numbers. And they feel that they're able to give Kerry a right good match in this particular game, as indeed they have done. And not just that, but with 12 minutes to go, perhaps make their entrance into this year's All-Ireland final, scheduled for the last Sunday of September this year. Ronan Carolan with the kick. He's got 4 so far. There are 2 between them. He's missed a few chances. This is one very critical one, added to by Cunningham, fisted out by the goalkeeper for the waiting Eamon Breen. Certainly Ronan Carolan's kicking letting him down during this second half. Out to the ball that time was Russell, but he leaves it behind to Philip Kermath, supported by Terry Farrelly. Bernard Morris is calling for it. Back to Kermath, who stumbled, comes back to Palaid, picked up here by Liam Hassett. Very steady play by the man on the 40, in towards Darragh Kinneada. Got a fist to it, but a very difficult ball for him to take. And through the quality of the ball at times in the second half, into the inside forwards, has given them little chance of being anyway productive. This is Ronan Carolan again. Again, possession surrendered. Time and again this is happening. Good full back play by Barry O'Shea. O'Flaherty towards Maurice Fitzgerald, but it favours the men coming from behind the backs. Kermath. Stephen King showed no effects of the injury that forced him off against Derry, hamstring injury. Again the backs coping well. Eamon Breen, who can hold their nerve now on a very tense occasion. Maurice Fitzgerald in towards Darragh Kinneada. That'll be a free in from 13 metres, and Boydie continues to urge his players on to give that last ounce of effort. And some more news now from the sideline from Marty.
The word is that Philip Smith is being introduced for Cavan, and unofficially it seems that Ronan Carolan could be the man that's been taken off. A bit of a surprise here in the Cavan dugout that it will be Ronan.
Well, Ronan was going towards the sideline there to pick up some water. He's still on the field, but not any longer, it seems. There he is, being replaced. His kicking let him down a bit in the second half. Clearly, fatigue was also a major factor for him. So Philip Smith comes on. It's a free to Kerry, remember. And Maurice Fitzgerald goes across to take it. 6 points in this match so far. It's an awful angle for him. That's how near he is to the sideline. 13 metres out. But he kicks with the right, he kicks with the left. The jeering is from the hill, where Cavan fans are in huge numbers. The kick has gone to the left. It was a very difficult one. So Cavan fans, Kerry fans, mingling in this huge crowd. 8.5 minutes to go. It looks to be the fullback there, Kieran Brady from Gowna. Married wife Geraldine earlier this month and had to postpone the honeymoon, incidentally. But he'll be wondering now whether the honeymoon could start just after this. Cavan trail by 2 points. Stephen King got a hand to it. Peter Riley now playing at half-back. Spills out there. Nicely forward. Jason Riley looking for another goal like the one he got in the Ulster final. Hauled back, and the referee has whistled. Or has he? Play continues. I wonder did the referee consider at that stage giving Cavan a penalty. That was interesting. We may see it again. But clearly the referee gave the advantage, which didn't come. But it seemed to me that Jason Riley was being hauled back. This is Kieran Brady, back defending, using his goalkeeper to link up with. Familiar pattern. Fintan Cahill. They're really burning up the energy this afternoon, Cavan. Superbly fit. Seamus Moynihan. Two very well-prepared teams. The final kick, however, left a lot to be desired. But what about that just a few minutes ago there, Colm?
Well, I certainly think that Jason Riley coming in, there's absolutely no doubt about it, he was pulled back there. Of course, referee say he gave the advantage. Larry Riley side puts it against the crossbar. Great chance for Kerry to really, or Cavan to put themselves back into the match after Kerry looked to have control for most of this second half. The Cavan forwards, every time they get the ball up, are able to get through. They should be getting it into them fairly quickly now for the last 7 or 8 minutes.
Taken down by Dermot McCabe again. Here comes Philip Smith. Trying to keep it away from the challenge of the Kerry men. Almost fouled the ball that time. Bernard Morris. Hassett. This time he spots the foul. This time it's going to be a free in for Cavan. Cavan trailing by 2 points.
And Ronan Carlin, the free taker, gone off. So it's a change of plan here. Raymond Cunningham will have to take the frees.
Well, plenty of talking points. Not least the disallowed goal for Kerry, end of the first half, and a possible penalty for Cavan. Just about 6 minutes from the end of normal time here. Cunningham to hit this. Can he do better than Carolan? Drops it into the goalkeeper's arms. Out to Eamon Breen. Two sides very visibly weary at this stage. It's been a long season. Few remember the beaten semi-finalists in any championship. It's all about getting to the big day, to the All-Ireland final itself. Philip Kermit's kick. Caught by Seamus Moynihan. Good work by Moynihan as ever. Really holds the defence together with steady and assured play. Out for Liam Hassett. Nobody able to put in a challenge. And really, that was a glorious chance for Liam Hassett to have got his second point here. They work so hard for the chances that come their way.
Yes, Darren, he looked as if he kicked it very lackadaisical altogether after such great work by Seamus Moynihan. Kerry men running all over the place. It really was a chance to get 3 points between them, because with only 2 in it, Cavan are always dangerous for a goal.
Really busy midfield, and Maurice Fitzgerald's gone out there just try and get some decent possession into Michael Francis Russell. This could be it. A goal for Kerry. Scored by Michael Francis Russell 5 minutes from time. Delight among the Kerry following. There's no doubting the validity of this particular goal. The youngster, who has a very bright future in senior football, may have done it for the kingdom.
A tremendous fielding, first of all, by Maurice Fitzgerald, and a brilliant pass in. And of course, Cavan backs now beginning to get tired. Michael Francis Russell with the pace to get in front of Philip Kermit, who has struggled all afternoon. A brilliant finish.
He took it in splendidly, found the gap. And back come Kerry again. This is their opportunity now to really knock out the challenge of the Ulster champions, and Darrow Kinnaid hit that one, but it's still in play. Peter Riley has it. 115 to 110. All of a sudden, it's a wide gap. Once again, a free kick for Cavan. Free to be taken by Peter Riley.
Well, the whole pace of the game has slowed down, which really doesn't suit Cavan's style.
Again, this should have favoured the backs, but will indeed do so with Liam Flaherty going back to make amends. Seamus Moynihan over, covering a lot of ground. Flaherty again. This time they leave it there. Darragh O'Shea getting that ball out to William Kirby. Nicely downfield. Russell back again here into space towards Billy O'Shea, waiting for the men to come from a deep position, but in fact he goes for the score himself, but it comes off the post and back down into the waiting arms of Jerry Sheridan. Bernard Morris and Darragh Keneda acknowledging his part in that. It's a free to Cavan. Philip Kermith. And the referee has the notebook out once again, and this time he's booking Liam Hassett. While he does so, we can get some further news from Marty.
Mickey Graham is just coming into the team, to the Cavan side. And the man that's going to be taken off, Ger, is Larry Riley.
Okay, so Larry goes, and in comes Mickey Graham, who scored a goal and a point, also in that under-21 final last year against Kerry. Free is taken too quickly. And from the incorrect position. Yes, it's very tense, and they look utterly disappointed. That's James McHugh there, we got a quick glimpse of there, the Donegal man. And that's the change. Mickey Graham on, Larry Riley off. Speaking of Riley's, here's Peter, his brother, to take the free. Just about a minute and a half to go, and Cavan needing a goal urgently. Instead, it's Kerry's Barry O'Shea. Down for Parlade. Kerry looking like they are about to book their place in a first All-Ireland football final for 11 years, which is an awful long time if you're a county with the tradition of Kerry. And one of the men who's made it for them there this afternoon, Michael Francis Russell, with that crucial second half goal. That's taken out there by Philip Smith. The referee says you foul the ball. Some of the players puzzled by some of the decisions. This is back in here for Michael Francis, back to Billy O'Shea, to Maurice Fitzgerald. And cool as you like, he slots it over the bar. His 7th point of the afternoon. A very good afternoon's work by a wonderful footballer, supported by some wonderful Kerry fans who'll be back here in huge numbers, you can be sure, for this year's All-Ireland final. Kerry looked to be there. They created 31 chances. They took 19. Cavan created 26 chances. They took 13. And that, in its own way, tells its own story. Kirby, Kerry rampant just now. Brushing aside the challenge of Cavan. Eamon Breen losing his way almost. Terry Farrelly picking it up. 6 points between the teams. Jerry Farrelly. Dermot McCabe. Had some very good moments in the first half. But by and large, Cavan had to give way during the second. This is Cahill looking for a second goal. And the outstretched boot of Declan O'Keefe diverts that one out. Cavan were unlucky. Damien O'Reilly has it back to Raymond Cunningham. Again they go blazing this one off the post and back down to William Kirby. Oof, nervy moments for Kerry football fans, but they have this comfortable lead of 6 points. Could have been down to 3. That's a great ball by Maurice Fitzgerald, nicely inside and tapped over the bar once again by our goal scorer Michael Francis Russell. A goal and a point. And he is now firmly staking his case, I think, for inclusion in Pádraig O'Shea's All-Ireland final team. We're in the final seconds of this. It's all over, I think. 117 to 110. Kerry are there. They have beaten the game Cavan men. They came strongly in the second half after the disappointment of having a goal disallowed on the call of half-time. But their goal by this man here, Michael Francis Russell, a name to conjure with, a name for the future. Congratulated there by Brian Clark, who was withdrawn. Kerry will be back here on the last Sunday of September. Will it be Offaly, or will it be Mayo for the second year in a row to oppose them? That's all for next year, of course, or for next week, of course. For now, it finishes Kerry 117, Cavan 6. Cavan 1.
Go